two public forums set aside for public comment, one at the beginning of the meeting and the other at the end. If you wish to speak, please complete one of the blue cards, which are located on the blue table outside the main entrance out there and on the podium rail right over here. Please give the card to the city clerk. Maria's sitting right here. She's our city clerk this evening. And when I call upon you, we ask that you speak no more than 3 minutes, and we avoid repetition. Now, if you're here on a specific item, when that item comes up, I'll let you speak, but sometimes people come to the meetings and they have to go home, and we give them a chance right now. So is there anybody here that would want to do that? Time will come in just a second. Madam City Clerk, are we in compliance with the Nevada Open Meeting Law?
Yes, Mayor, we are in compliance.
Thank you. Tonight we have the opportunity to have invocation given by Pastor Darrell Harris from the Bethesda Church of God in Christ in North Las Vegas here. And following that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Kelly Oxset, a CSN student here who is here this evening monitoring this for a school project. So please rise.
Can we bow our heads? Thank you. Lord, may your goodness and love be present amongst us today. Come bless our gathering with unity, hope, and vision. Lord, we pray for vision. Build in us all a deep respect for one another so that your city may be one. We pray for hope. Come stir your hope within our hearts and renew our faith. We pray for unity. May your vision fill our hearts as we seek to fulfill your purpose for this city. We ask all this in the glorious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Before you leave, appreciate you taking time out of your evening to come be with us and bless us. Thank you. This is a time set aside for the first public forum on any posted agenda items. Madam City Clerk, we have quite a few cards here. Is anybody here on the first agenda item? Okay, so there's nobody else here that wants to speak just generally to the council. Then we will close public comment and close public forum. Please, pardon me. Tonight we have two proclamations to present. I've asked Councilman Goins Brown to present a proclamation to the American Red Cross proclaiming March 17th as American Red Cross Centennial Celebration Month. And Councilman Churchill will recognize the city of North Las Vegas as a hidden heroes city. We'll go down front and make these presentations. Thank you.
And I'm assuming you're Mr. Rakowski? Okay. Mr. Corder, okay. Come on up, please. Okay. I'll just read this to my team. And I am excited to present this proclamation to the Red Cross. And it reads, whereas the President of the United States has designated March 2017 as American Red Cross Month, focusing on the life-saving services that the American Red Cross provides. And whereas, in the event of any natural disaster, large-scale emergency or terrorist attack, America's first line of defense is its citizens and their willingness to voluntarily respond and assist their community, their neighbors, and their friends. And whereas, a properly trained and equipped citizenry supports America's professional responders, including local police, firefighters, and emergency medical personnel, saving lives and limiting casualties. And whereas the American Red Cross of Nevada has taken the lead since 1917 in preparing our residents and our community by teaching life-saving skills like CPR, first aid, and aquatics to thousands of Nevadans a year. And whereas the American Red Cross's volunteers help a family affected by a home fire or local disaster, help a military family with a crisis, and whereas the American Red Cross of Nevada continues to prepare its residents and community for disasters by offering blood services, family services, and donation services to support international efforts. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of North Las Vegas, do hereby proclaim March 2017 as American Red Cross Centennial Celebration Month in North Las Vegas and ask our citizens to join us in congratulating the American Red Cross of Nevada for their 100 years of uninterrupted service to our community. In witness thereof, we have set our hand and caused the seal of the City of North Las Vegas to be affixed this first day of March 2017. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. All right, so just real briefly, I'm Tyler Corder. I'm the board president for the Southern Nevada Red Cross. And on behalf of the staff and the volunteers and the board, you know, we appreciate you recognizing us. I don't know if you think about that for a second, but in 1917, when the Red Cross started here, there wasn't much in Las Vegas. And the Red Cross started here when the troops were being shipped overseas for World War I, and the local citizenry got together to knit things and provide bandages and sweaters and food and so forth, comfort for the troops as they stopped in Las Vegas on the train on their way to be shipped overseas. And for 100 years, been involved in every disaster that's happened. The Red Cross has been there, and I'm just honored on behalf of everyone that went before me to be here tonight to accept this, and we appreciate the City of North Las Vegas recognizing us. So thank you very much. Absolutely.
And please come up. You guys come up now. We're going to take a picture with the group. But just to give you a heads up, community, maybe 6 weeks ago, we had an officer, here, go ahead in front of me, that was hit on a head-on collision and passed away. And I quickly called Scott Emerson at the Red Cross because the police were concerned about the amount of plasma that was donated to work to help save this young man. And so Mike Yarder of the POA said, we want, as police officers, to give back to the Red Cross. So we had an event up on the fourth floor here, and we had 100 pints of blood, over 100 pints of blood given to the Red Cross to support the rest of the community. And on a personal note, my mother was a WSI water safety instructor for 40 years with the Red Cross, and it was a great experience to see her, and then she taught life-saving and all those wonderful things that the Red Cross does. So it's made a big difference to families here whose children don't know how to swim to be able to learn from the Red Cross swimming and things like that. So I want to thank you, and I appreciate you.
And Mayor Fields, just indulge me just for a moment. Mr. Carter, I was supposed to give you a call back, and I wrote a little note there, and I never did, but maybe we'll chat tomorrow. But I just wanted to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart. Here in Ward 1, we've had recently a couple of fires in which, unfortunately, there were some tragedies. But again, the American Red Cross, they stepped in to help those families. And on behalf of those families, I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for being there. People like you make our country great, and your organization, of course.
And as you wear many hats, so do we. And I know I serve on the board for the Southern Nevada Child Drowning Prevention Coalition, and we know that you have a lot to do with that too. So you guys do so much throughout our community and in so many different ways, and we truly do appreciate it.
I can't really add too much more to that, except to say thank you as well from myself and from all of the residents here in North Las Vegas for the amazing work that you've done over 100 years and what you'll continue to do. Thank you so much. Okay, now it goes downhill from there. I have my little cheat sheet over here, and I was happy to see that Councilwoman Goins Brown also had one like me. So I don't feel too bad. The typing, the writing is getting smaller for some reason on those proclamations. Okay, ladies, you want to come up? I'll start the whereases as you come up here. Whereas the city of North Las Vegas recognizes the duty and the sacrifices that veterans, their families, and caregivers have given in service to their country, and whereas the city of North Las Vegas will seek to identify military and veteran caregivers residing in North Las Vegas community, and whereas the city of North Las Vegas will work to ensure that our government, employers, organizations, and nonprofit organizations are aware of the unique challenges faced by military and veteran caregivers. And whereas the city of North Las Vegas will encourage these entities to create supportive environments and opportunities for assistance, and whereas the city of North Las Vegas will take steps each May during Military Appreciation Month to join other local organizations in honoring and recognizing the city's military and veteran caregivers in partnership with the National Hidden Heroes campaign. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of North Las Vegas, do hereby proclaim the City of North Las Vegas as a Hidden Heroes City, and urge our citizens to join us in celebrating our hidden heroes and to participate in the activities. In witness thereof, we have set our hand and caused the seal of the City of North Las Vegas to be affixed this first day of March 2017. Thank you very much for all that you do. And before I turn the mic over, I have to tell you that going back to 2014, no one can say that North Las Vegas isn't military friendly. We have right now the only Veterans Commission here, thanks to Mayor Lee and Governor Sandoval, and I had the privilege of serving on there for maybe about 14 months, something like that. And we have a terrific team on there. We are very supportive of our military, our active, our veterans, and of course we recognize the importance of the family at home, the ones that really suffer, aside from obviously the men and women in the military. And my granddaughter's in the military as well, so I could understand the fear and anxiety that you feel at home. But as far as us supporting you, we want to work closely with yourself, as we do with Eva from the Resource Center that we have the privilege of having in North Las Vegas as well. So once again, we're here for you and appreciate so very much what you do. And if you would like to say something, I think that would be very nice.
Thank you so much. My name is Michelle Bassett, and I am the Elizabeth Dole Foundation Nevada Fellow. We just want to thank North Las Vegas for your support, supporting our caregivers, signing on with our Hidden Hero City. Being a caregiver is a very challenging thing, and knowing we have the support of our city and all the amazing resources really makes it so much easier. So we just want to say thank you so much.
My father was a Vietnam veteran. My husband Tom died in Desert Storm, and my husband Ross is the director of veteran services at UNLV. So I care about veterans, and I care for them in many ways, as in Eva does too. And we're going to help you with that May event. On May 13th, we're going to have a caregiver forum, an hour radio show, and then a panel. So we'd love to have you come, and drive people there.
That's okay. Thank you for all that you do.
Most definitely, it's proud to be part of the small cog in the city here that does everything it can to keep its doors open to our veterans.
Moving on to the agenda.
Approve City Council regular meeting agenda of March 1st, 2017 for possible action.
Mayor and council members, staff recommends the agenda be approved as published.
Thank you. The chair will take a motion to approve the agenda if there's no problems with that.
Move to approve.
Please cast your vote. Okay. All right. Moving on to set future public hearing dates.
Set date on any appeals filed or required public hearings from the City Planning Commission meetings.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. I so direct you set any dates as needed. Moving on to public hearing.
Item number 3, deny UN 0417 Bourbon Street Sports Bar for applicant and property owner RREF 2KI Promenade LLC for a special use permit in a C2 General Commercial District to allow an on-sale restricted gaming establishment on property located at 775 West Craig Road, Suites 152 to 160. Continued February 15th, 2017 for possible action.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Ms. Woods.
I need to abstain on this item. So, Mayor, NRS 281A.420 requires me to disclose a conflict of interest. The matter before this body involves a person with whom I have a substantial and continuing business relationship as a member of the team that is representing the owner in this case is Bradley Mayer, who serves as my campaign manager. Therefore, though I do not think that my judgment or the judgment of a reasonable person in this situation would be materially affected by this relationship, it is a clear case of a disqualifying conflict of interest, and therefore I will be abstaining in this matter.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ms. Woods, if you want to go back and have a seat, we can send somebody back and grab you. When we're done, it might be a minute, okay? All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Garcia.
Well, George Garcia, 1055 Whitney Ranch Drive, Suite 210. As always, pleasure to be before you. With me is Jeff Donato.
Jeff Donato, 6077 South Fort Apache Road, Suite 300, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89148.
And we're glad to be here in part because as we look at this Bourbon Street, basically at Craig Promenade, a key thing is we all know has basically been restoring shopping centers in our neighborhoods back to full vitality. And that's part of what we're doing here. And if you look at the overhead, one of the things you'll see is that as we add this particular tavern location, the discussion on the drainage and the barrier I think has been held, and you fully understand that, but Jeff can go back into that if you'd like. But I just want to show you here, you can see the picture. This is the drainage easement area that's riprap and provides the barrier that has been previously discussed. But what's important also is that if we look at the pictures out here, and you can, I don't know how well they show up here, but there's holes in the wall that occur along this back where the vacant property is that will ultimately be developed and provide additional buffering. But along this back wall, there's been vandalism to the wall. And I think one of the things we have found historically is that vacant buildings, inactivity, things of that nature create more potential problems for crime and vandalism than would if you had an occupied building. So this building, if you approve it, would provide 24-hour security, and they have their own security systems, cameras and everything else. So it will help in that regard provide for a safer environment. To that extent, we had a study prepared, a risk assessment of increased crime. This is prepared by Deputy Sheriff, for Metro, who's now retired. What he's indicated, I'll just read his conclusion when I provide the report. Basically, his conclusion is that, based on my professional experience, brief review of the criminal justice on crime rates in similar areas, and exploration of the area, it appears to me a proposed bar near 755 West Craig Road presents a low risk of any notable effect on crime in the area. In this specific location, he goes on to say additional risk may be offset by presence of customers, employees, as research notes reduce crime rates associated with increased occupancy of vacant buildings. That's underscoring the point I make, so that activity, visibility, eyes on the street definitely help. So I'll provide that for the record. In addition, one of the things we wanted to do is provide you some information on traffic. We had a traffic study prepared by a professional traffic engineer. What that study shows is that the use here, compared to other uses that otherwise might occur as far as tenancy, will have no undue increased traffic effect than those other uses. That their traffic would fall in the same range as any of those other uses. So from a traffic impact, we don't expect any significant impact as well. One of the things I think that brought up last time, but I just want to go back, this is indicated, is that these are the number of people who, and when a petition was provided to them, said that they would support such an activity, that they look forward to having this sort of services and entertainment available in the community nearby, close to home. And basically what we have here is this is the actual petition in support, and I'll provide again this for the record. And there's over 90 signatures provided here in support of the project in the surrounding neighborhood area. So we'll provide that. And with that, Mayor, members of the council, we stand here to answer any questions you may have, and I know there's residents, I'm sure, here to speak to you as well.
Thank you. Do you have any questions this time, or do you want to hear from the residents? Maybe we'll just, okay. We'll go ahead and close that portion here and invite Mr. Anton Tyler, please. And right behind him, we'll have Gail Bachelor. If she wouldn't mind, we'll start with those two.
Good afternoon, Council and Mayor. I'm glad we have this opportunity to actually discuss this item as it affects the public viewpoint. The first thing I'd like to say is that based upon the continuance, we wanted some signatures, which we did not record last time. So we actually went out and collected signatures affecting 191 adults and 111 residences in the area. We did find, in fact, 5 people who did not want to sign. That was out of all of the ones that we collected. And of those 5 people, 2 were not interested because they were moving. 2 just weren't interested. And 1 was an active denier who said that he liked the idea of being able to just drink and come home drunk without driving. So what that actually says, in fact, is that somewhere between 3% and 9% of the population in the area has absolutely no interest and is against actually having this additional alcoholic beverage supplying place opened. The people who are supporting this application have claimed, in fact, to have 91 signatures at the last meeting. And we raised some doubt about that at the time because, in fact, the people who are out there canvassing did not, in fact, tell people that, in fact, this was a 24-hour operation. There was some denial about that at the time. So one of the people that they actually interviewed was a person who was to become one of our canvassers but was not a canvasser at the time, and who asked them very specifically about what hours the system would be open. So at that time, they denied that they really knew when it was going to be open, and we have a statement which we kind of notarized for you and which will be submitted to Council. As a question, I have both copies and the original signatures for all of these people now, and I'm not sure whether you take copies or whether you want originals or what it is that you want to do, but either are available at this point for you. I'd just like to raise a couple of other points. Actually, I've just received another sheet with another 10 people opposed, which I did not include in mine. So now we're actually at 201 signatures and about, that would be about 114 residences that are actually represented as being opposed. Okay, a couple of other things that I would just like to bring to everybody's attention is that we do have a place where you can buy liquor, in fact, which is only 150 paces from the second place which is proposed. The people in the Sinclair gas bar at the corner of Revere and Craig, not in a position to actually state anything because they have the same property owner, so they just mumbled, but were obviously not happy that they were going to, in fact, lose quite a bit of business to the bar. Okay, the next thing is, what I would like to talk about is some financial impact. Geez, you're making me nervous. Okay. Could we display this on the screen, please? It doesn't show up too well. Basically, the property that's immediately influenced, or will be influenced by the opening of the spa, has a tax base, basically of, this is after cap and assessment, of roughly some $20 million. I'm sorry, $84 million. And start again. The total capped assessed piece will be, yes, about $84 million. The actual market values, according to Zillow, are $199 million. And based upon the amount of reduction we expect because of increased crime, etc., in the area, which I will come to in just a second, we're going to wipe out some 6.9 million of the residence's asset value. I think that's a pretty important point because I think that's also why a lot of the people are actually opposed. Although one of the things that we noticed in the data collection, even though we now have a 214 adults, we only had 65 children in there. That's mainly because the data collection, in fact, is biased because of the hours that you can collect it. So you have a very large group of seniors in there who their entire wealth at this point, in many cases, is based upon the asset value of their properties.
I appreciate that. We've exceeded the 3 minutes, and I recognize that you're against this. So I need to call some other people up here.
Okay, I can, in fact, I thought I was going to be able to do this in 3 minutes, get an additional 3 minutes from one of the other people who could concede this.
That's fine.
That would be okay.
That would be fine.
Okay, I will just quickly summarize what we've got, and that is the fact that the city of North Las Vegas is actually going to lose, after the adjustments to our property values, and including the revenue, the sin tax, and the estimated retail sales tax, we'll lose $200,000 in revenue coming into the city. So, in summary, not only are we going to be affecting a current,
Mr. Tyler, I need to invite some other people up here.
Okay. Can we submit another blue card?
No.
Thank you.
Actually, there's somebody behind who's going to come up follow you, I believe. Ms. Gail Bachelor. Welcome, Ms. Bachelor.
Thank you. Good evening. I, again, am opposed to this project, as I stated in the prior meetings. Some of the things that I would like to present to you in my opposition of this is, as you know, where it sits, it is very close to the Gold Crest Park, and the division between that and the establishment of where it's going to be is basically a dirt lot and a brick wall. The brick wall is probably not even 6 feet, and it's coming down because the kids have kicked the bricks out, knocked them over, use them to stand on to jump over the wall. So I don't think that's a very good barrier. Also, we have the Craig Ranch Regional Park. That is busy, as you know, 24/7, and the kids that come down Revere going to that park has increased substantially since they've opened the park. It's families, it's with strollers, it's kids on skateboards, it's kids on bikes, and I can just see somebody coming out of this establishment that may have had too much to drink, not seeing one of these people, and God forbid, we're waiting for an accident to happen. I know he talks about 24-hour security with the cameras that they will provide from this establishment. I could put up cameras on my house that is on Craig Creek and provide 24-hour security. The wash that he speaks about with the river rocks in there, This is directly across from my house. I know that park like the back of my hand. That's not any type of a barrier. Kids and I have walked across those rocks. They're there for just a beautification aspect of the park. It's not any type of barrier that would constitute a wall of some sort to separate the two properties. One of the other things is I think we have enough bars and pubs in that area. We have Lola's, we have Surf City, we have Scoundrels, we have Buffalo Wild Wings, all within a 1.5 mile radius of this site. So I would like to see new businesses come in. I would like to come to the council meeting and actually support a business, but unfortunately, this is one that I cannot support. And I would ask, just on the presentations from the prior meeting and the presentations that you're going to hear here tonight, all of which are good, valid points from the community standpoint. So I just ask that you deny this project and vote no on it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bassler. Next, Ms. Deb Lewis. And following Deb will be Nathaniel Lashory. If I said that, you'll know who you are. Please come up next after that. Deb, nice to have you here this evening.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and a good evening, council people. As you know, I haven't been in here in a while, and that's probably a good thing for you. My neighborhood has been here since 1998. Some of us have lived in our homes for 19 years. We have seen a child, Justine Seitz, hit and killed by a car right on the corner of where Bourbon Street is to be placed. If you drive up Revere, and right on the corner is a little cross that still sits there. And if you've ever been to a child's memorial, you never want to ever put another child in this kind of situation. That was before the regional park. That was before there was a crosswalk. Her mother had to petition the city at the time to get a crosswalk there. So I have kids that are here that are neighbors that use the park, the Goldcrest 2 Park. All of us that have dogs use Goldcrest Park and the regional park, which we love the regional park. There is no physical barrier. An underground wash is not considered a barrier in my book. I know it's an improved thing and we appreciate that. But in this case, it should not be used as a scapegoat. I really don't think it should. And I have one question for the petitioner. Bourbon Street, are you guys affiliated with the Bourbon Street across the street from the cannery? Are you? Yes, you are. Okay. So there is a Bourbon Street already on Craig Road. So please, keep these things in mind. I was surprised to see that this place used to be called Whiskey Dick's or something, I don't know, all of a sudden has a Bourbon Street sign on it. Got one. We don't need another one, and we don't need it in between two parks with no barriers for children. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you being here. Nathaniel?
Evening, council member. My name is Nathaniel LaShore. We reside at 4108 Forestville Street, and we're here to oppose this. We have seen the results of people having too much to drink and not realizing it, and too many people have lost their lives, and because of that. We bought in that area. We looked for a couple of years before we selected that area, and we were concerned about our children, our grandchildren, and what have you. As we look at the park, we admired the park and all of that. Now we have two parks there where children are, as you heard, children are up and down Revere throughout the day, and I think this would present a problem. And I'd like to yield the rest of my time to Anthony, if you could.
Thank you very much. Well, I've got some other people. I'm going to give you final wrap up. Okay, so if you'll just wait for a second.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to give you because I know you're kind of the spokesman for the group. Okay. Cliff Wilson, Mr. Wilson, would you?
He was going to yield.
Okay, Mr. Smith, Mr. Greg Smith, are you coming up for this?
Good evening, Mayor Lee and council members. I'm a little late, so I'm not sure exactly what's been covered, but I want to make a couple of points real quick. I'm going to call it a casino and establishment that serves alcohol is inappropriate for the area under any circumstances. My plea is that there is a park across the street. I have children that frequent this park, and many of us do have children that frequent the park. And I dread to think that my child is going to go skateboarding with his buddies like he does often at this park, and someone's just finishing up a bad night of gambling and had a few too many drinks with our licensed, people who tend bar and do the best they can with their TAM cards. But when you're working for tips, you don't know when to cut off drinks. You don't know when someone has had a few too many. That's not your job. It's just to tell by sight whether someone's drunk or not. I don't want these people anywhere near my children. And I think a park as large and as popular as this one is a big red flag. I know that many of us on the city council and here in the city of North Las Vegas are working really hard to clean up our neighborhoods and make sure that we are presenting neighborhoods that are well put together. And I know it's hard to say no to the tax revenue that we would realize in our city, but we do need to be thoughtful and careful about things that we're allowing to be placed in our community. I think we have enough gambling, and I think that gambling is very simple. 100 people lose money and one person makes money. That's 100 families that may not have, us adults are just so good at what we do. That's 100 people who may not be able to take care of their families, and the one person who might have hit the jackpot. I think we have enough, and this is not appropriate for the neighborhood. I hope that all council members and your mayor would consider this in making this decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it might be noticed for the record that Mr. Smith sits on the Parks and Recreation Board for the city.
Thank you, Mayor. And I am uniquely qualified to be concerned about our parks, and I want to do everything I can to protect the park and everything that happens around them. It's very important to me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ms. Skinner, am I saying this right? Am I reading? Would you like to please come up?
Hi, thank you for hearing me. Debbie just reminded me of something, and a friend of mine had pointed out that there was a Bourbon Street bar over near Simmons and Ann Road, and I drove over there to see it. And when I went over to see it, because what the friend was telling me is you don't want it there because it's too close to you. There's nobody near where he lives, and he said you don't really see it, and he was right. It's on the side of Star Nursery. To the front of it is a Chevron gas station, and it's in the back of the place, so you don't see it from Ann Road. And I drove back and I parked in front and I looked. The only residential you see is when you look north. If you look south, all you see is commercial. You look across on Simmons Road, you see where the Albertsons, you see the opening to that and the store, but you don't see any residential. This one is sitting right up on residential where we see it coming in, walking through, and the output from it all the time. And I just thought, when I looked at it, I thought, perfect location. That makes sense because it's not affecting residential property, and the homes were really quite a bit further north. That's all I wanted to point out. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Mr. Anton, did you want to? Mr. Anton, why don't we wait a sec? Let's invite the other side to come up just to respond just a little bit. Mr. Garcia?
Some comments. First, go back to the crime issue. We know that vacant buildings are conducive to criminal activity. Security is not just limited to the cameras. The company that does this, Nevada Restaurant Services, have active dispatch security. So if there are issues, they can arrive, send their security on site, so it's more than just cameras. Having a vacant building, we can already see what that's done, and what that does to not only the landlord and the shopping center, but what it does to the surrounding neighborhood. What vandalism in the wall, it also affects surrounding property owners in terms of their homes. If people go look for their homes, go to sell their homes, having deteriorated or declining shopping centers is not conducive to supporting the neighborhood. This is a great opportunity. We're on Craig Road. It's a shopping district basically along Craig Road. Yes, we do have other establishments, not only the Bourbon Street that we've talked about, but other taverns, Nevada-style taverns, that include more than just gaming. They include food, they include drink, they include entertainment. And if you go to the Bourbon Street, it has arcade games. So live, work, and play becomes an element of that, and that's part of our neighborhoods and communities as well, and we seek that. But on all those taverns that we've done, both in North Las Vegas in particular, but elsewhere in that valley, we actually solve problems. We bring the neighborhood in a better condition by improving the buildings and reducing crime. And I'll give you a specific example you all know real well. At Fort Cheyenne, we have a Bourbon Street in there. That was a huge problem child. We went in and not only invested a lot of money when people said you're crazy, but we actually reduced the crime dramatically, and I think the police department will tell you what a fantastic change that made in that neighborhood. That's just one example of many places where we've done a great job. So from the standpoint, I think of, are we a community asset? Yes. Is it for everybody? No, that's a choice, personal choice everyone I think gets to make. But we do provide great food, great entertainment, and we provide a huge investment in terms of what we do at each property. And again, security is more than just cameras. And with that, Mayor, I'd be happy to again answer any questions.
Council, do we have any questions or comments we'd like to make to this panel? Councilwoman?
I've been going back and forth with this since we continued from the last couple weeks ago, and also just from the very beginning when the project was brought back, I believe in September, October-ish. And having frequented the Bourbon Street, I see it as the Bourbon Street itself as a good project. It was the comments that were made here tonight. I did not witness that or did not experience that at all at the few hours that I was there, into probably later than I typically stay out anyway, into the night. And it was very well run establishment. No one was out of control. There was a very just everyday regular crowd of people that frequented this establishment, and there were more arcade type games than I would clarify as gambling. And one thing I would just like to second is that you probably will have more of an increased crime rate if you have a vacant parcel that's been sitting there. That allows more for vagrants and crime than if you had an established in the building. And also, driving over there several times, I visit that shopping center frequently, and it is set back far enough that if you're just passing there, you won't know it's there unless you typically know that you're going to go to the Bourbon Street establishment. They do have great security measures in place, and I don't know where the numbers about the loss of revenue are coming from, but I just don't think property values were going to drop, and I don't know where the loss of revenue, where those facts are coming from. Looking at the riffraff of the rocks that are there, it is wide enough to me, that imposes a safety issue, especially if you or a child are trying to walk across those rocks. To me, that's more dangerous than if you took the path that's there for you to walk around the sidewalk to even get around to that shopping center. And so I just don't know why you would walk there or have kids playing on those boulders, because they're extremely, extremely dangerous. So that's a safety issue to me as well. So with that said, I don't know if my other colleagues had any comments to make about the project.
Councilman Barone.
Yeah, I do have one question just on the motion itself. It says to deny. So if I vote in favor, that is in favor to deny, or
You're voting in favor to deny if you vote yes.
okay. So if I was voting in favor, To deny, yes. Otherwise, you vote no. Okay. It's like one of those double negative things. I'm so sorry. Sometimes, I've had a long day teaching. Yeah, a couple of things. I do know that I guess just about everywhere where the applicants have come in, they tend to bring in high quality developments. No, not tend to. They've everywhere in Ward 1 where they've come in. It's night and day, as the applicants have said. They are very well run, very clean, and they upgrade the area. Not to, I'm not questioning the veracity, but I'm not aware of any data that shows that such a project would actually lower people's property values. On the other hand, my big thing is it's very simple. There is a 1,500 foot separation requirement, which unfortunately this property does not meet. I'm sure that we are very happy to have a really good project in that spot. But just considering, I'm just taking more than anything else that 1,500 foot requirement or substantial barrier into my decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Churchill.
I've been listening over here, and I'm very conflicted because there's merit on both sides to what's being said over here, both with Mr. Garcia saying and what my colleague said. Dottie's, Bourbon Street, I haven't been in Bourbon Street down by Sam's Club, but they do have a good product, and they do business well. I don't believe that information that you brought out, sir, on the property values. Kind of wish you would have shared that as well as the 200 and some odd signatures before the meeting tonight rather than up at the podium. That's something that would kind of give us a little more insight. The last thing I heard, there was 91 in favor of it versus just a handful against. No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I don't want to dismiss the importance of what was said here tonight when it comes to the children, obviously. On the other side, I know that we live in Las Vegas, and there's bars and stuff all around us over here. What I'm concerned about, and I spoke with Mr. Jordan about this, and a little bit of what Mayor Pro Tem Barone was saying, it's the legal factor over here of that the distance and the fact that that's not a wash per se. Councilwoman Goins is completely correct what she's saying in all respects. I went down to that park. I took pictures of that park. There are huge holes in that wall down there. It's very much in disrepair. But I also know that if somebody wanted to get to Bourbon Street, I don't know why they'd want to climb over the wall. Well, they can walk through it now. But even if the wall was repaired, they just need to go over to the sidewalk and walk up to the establishment over here. It's a technical aspect over here that maybe we should revisit when it comes to approval or denials based on appropriate barriers and such that we're talking about over here. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been this stumped before. I mean, I know the people. I'm familiar with the area, but I also know that the product is a good product. And I don't see our property values dropping off that much. I don't. I just don't. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before many times. But I have a concern both ways on this over here right now. Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Goins Brown.
And thank you for that. And this is a tough one, but it is a great product. They have a well run establishment, and perhaps we can work with the shopping center owners or your owners as far as doing some improvements on the park site as well, maybe repairing the wall or something that you can do as a good neighbor. And so, did you want to say anything else?
Yeah, Mayor, Councilman, I certainly, absolutely, I think, there's no question. Look, we serve the community and we serve the neighborhood. So if there's something we can do to work with the neighbors, work with the city, to do something to help with the park, to help with the wall, we're certainly glad to look into that and do that and join you in accomplishing something that's good for everybody. Absolutely.
Councilman Church, you again?
You know, this is not a hill to die for tonight. I'm looking while I'm listening and I'm speaking and I'm watching the facial expressions on the people looking back at me over here. So, I get it. A lot of my friends. But is there an appetite? And I'm speaking off the top of my head as only one council person, okay? Is there an appetite amongst, and please be open-minded here, because we could vote it either way and nobody knows right now. But is there an appetite to sit down with Mr. Garcia to address some of your concerns? I know you're shaking your head no, but is there an appetite to discuss this before a vote is cast tonight, either way, to see how we could remedy the problem or to give you a little more confidence into what's going in over there?
Let's have Mr. Ranton come up, Deb. All right. I'm just saying he's kind of the.
I'm quite sure the intentions of the property owners here are quite valid. However, when 91% minimum of the people who live in that area are against this, and council is here to represent the people, I can't see, and 3 regulations from the Planning Commission, as stated clearly last time, must be waived. And those regulations were put in place to protect the residents. And, okay, we can have discussions about the reductions in the values of property, although, in fact, I've put pretty conservative ones in there over almost the $200 million property values, according to Zillow. I really don't know why this is even going to be discussed any further. The people are opposed. I mean, is that not sufficient?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Garcia, the best you have here is 2-2.
And I would then ask, I guess, if we can continue this 30 days and then we'll see if we can accomplish anything in the next 30 days, and then we'll make a decision on whether we're going forward or not.
Why don't we just push this away and we just don't see you again? And let's not vote on this, because it's going to die with 2-2 or 3-1 or something. I just don't feel that this project's going to move any further tonight. And if your company has a very good reputation here.
I appreciate that, Mayor. So what I guess I would say is let me get with the client. But I think at this point I understand full well the situation, and we'll discuss with the client possibility of then either withdrawing the item, and then we'll communicate that to you to be withdrawn without prejudice if that's agreeable to you.
Yeah.
So I'll confer with my client, but then that's what I'll take back to them. The message is then perhaps withdraw without prejudice.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay. At this time, we're going to push this off. Michaela, do you have some questions on this?
Oh, I was just saying that you need to make a motion.
Yeah, we're going to make a motion to table this for 1 month, and I'd kind of look for another person to go in that facility. All right? Thank you very much.
Mayor, Council, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, now.
Mayor, I had some input. Was that the motion?
That was my motion.
Yeah, make a motion.
Please cast your vote. Where's your card? Oh, I didn't get your card, but this is going to be, if you want to come and say something, be my guest, because it's going to be intelligent.
First of all, I want to say something. Tonight is a night I'm glad I'm not sitting up there, because this is a tough situation, because you have some really well-educated, some fine people that care about their homes, understand their concerns. I also understand these people's concerns. And, when I go out with my girlfriend, we're always looking for a smoke-free environment where we can dance. But all we find is places where there's no live music. They were talking about entertainment. Well, their idea of entertainment was more gaming machines. What we really need are more places with live music where you can do dancing and a smoke-free area. That's what we need. If they would come back here and say, hey, we're going to put trios in here, have some nice dance music, maybe have at least part of the area smoke-free, I'd be more interested in a business model like that. That's all I wanted to say. I do want to say thank you for coming down here. We need more people like you in this town.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Appreciate you. Moving on. Welcome back. Moving on to the consent agenda.
Matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be approved by a single motion. However, any consent item may be moved to the business portion of the agenda for discussion at the request of any council member.
Dr.
May-
Liu.
Mayor and council members, consent agenda consists item number 4 through 9. The recommendation is approved as posted.
Thank you. We'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent.
Items approved. Moving on to the business section.
Item number 10, approve interlocal agreement with Clark County, Nevada to grant $1,867,792 in community development block grant funds to the City of North Las Vegas for program services for the 2016-2017 fiscal year for possible action.
Thank you. We'll call for a motion to approve the interlocal agreement with Clark County for CBDG funds.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item number 11, approve interlocal agreement for Clark County to administer emergency solution grant funds awarded to the City of North Las Vegas for FY 2016-2017 in the amount of $170,642 and authorize the city manager to sign any amendment to the agreement as needed for possible action.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Move to approve.
Please cast your vote.
That should be a yes.
Okay, we will note that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 12.
Item number 12, approve real property purchase agreement with Hutchins Living Trust in an amount not to exceed $510,000 plus normal closing costs in an amount not to exceed $40,000 to acquire approximately 17 acres of land in the northern portion of Apex Industrial Park for construction of a wastewater treatment plant for possible action.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions? If not, the chair will take a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Item 13, approve agreement to use local government contract with Fastenal Company in an amount not to exceed $100,000 using the competitive bidding exception per NRS 332 Local Government Purchasing Act for the purchase of safety supplies for the Public Works and Utilities Department and authorize the city manager to increase the annual authorized expenditure in an amount not to exceed $250,000 per fiscal year as needed by other departments in the city for possible action.
Thank you. Council, any comments or questions? If not, the chair will take a motion to approve, or make a motion. Pardon?
Move to approve.
There we go. We have a motion to approve. Cast your vote. Thank you, Councilwoman. Moving on to ordinances, introduction only. Items approved.
There is no public comment for these items and no action will be taken by the council at this meeting. If you wish to speak on any of these items, please attend the meeting where the final action will be determined and submit a blue card to the clerk. Item number 14, ordinance number 2800, amending section 010 of chapter 16 of title 17 of the City of North Las Vegas Municipal Code by reclassifying approximately 28.64 acres therein from an RE Ranch Estates District to a PUD Planned Unit Development District, ZN 0317, Commerce and Revere, for property generally located northeast of the intersection of Commerce Street and Revere Street, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto. Set final action for March 15th, 2017. Item number 15, ordinance number 2801, amending section 010 of chapter 16 of title 17 of the City of North Las Vegas Municipal Code by reclassifying approximately 21.82 acres therein from a PCD planned community district to an RCL PCD medium density residential planned community district, ZN 0417, Villages at Tule Springs, Village 3, for property generally located at the northeast corner of Deer Springs Way and Gentle Brook Street, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto. Set final action for March 15th, 2017. Item number 16, ordinance number 2802, amending section 010 of chapter 16 of title 17 of the City of North Las Vegas Municipal Code by reclassifying approximately 38.25 acres therein from a PCD planned community district to an RCI PCD medium density residential planned community district, ZN 0517, Villages at Tule Springs, Village 3, for property generally located at the northeast corner of Deer Springs Way and Gliding Eagle Road, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto. Set final action for March 15th, 2017. Item number 17, ordinance number 2803, amending Title 17 of the Municipal Code of the City of North Las Vegas relating to zoning, ZOA 0117, by amending Title 17 zoning ordinance, Section 17.24.040.C.3b, parking and loading, to allow recreational vehicles to be parked within a side yard, and providing for other matters properly related thereto. Set final action for March 15th, 2017. Item 18, ordinance number 2804, amending section 010 of chapter 16 of title 17 of the City of North Las Vegas Municipal Code by amending an existing PUD planned unit development district, ordinance numbers 1511, 1588, and 1737, to allow an assisted living center consisting of 195 units and 300 beds, ZN 0617, North Las Vegas Assisted Living Center, for property generally located at Radio Court and Martin Luther King Boulevard, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto. Set final action for March 15th, 2017.
Thank you very much. Do you need a drink of water?
Okay, thank you.
All right. You ready? Moving on to ordinances, final action.
Item 19, pass and adopt ordinance number 2798 to repeal and replace Title VI of the North Las Vegas Municipal Code, amending sections 6.04.020 and adding section 6.12.080 and section 6.12.090, providing for the criminalization of animal hoarding, amending section 6.12.020, providing for rodeo events in certain circumstances, amending section 6.13.010 and section 6.13.035, and adding section 6.13.145, requiring outdoor sellers and pet shops to obtain animals from animal shelters or certain nonprofit organizations, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto, for possible action.
Thank you. Before I call for a motion for this, we have 4 people here who would like to speak quickly on this. Mr. Hugo Gutierrez, would you like to please come up? Following him will be Tiffany Galindo.
Good evening. My name is Hugo Gutierrez and I'm from Katy, Texas, Director of Prestige Rodeo Events. We are in favor of the ordinance change to allow rodeos in North Las Vegas. Our organization has been interested in bringing our events in North Las Vegas, providing an economic impact to the city. We believe in animal welfare and we set the standards together with other like industries that own and use livestock. We believe we are caretakers of our heritage and tradition. Who better than those that own and care for livestock? That's why we implement an animal welfare program that's up to date with the needs and safety of our livestock. Thank you for the opportunity to present our case and for your kind attention to my concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Gutierrez.
Thank you.
Ms. Tiffany? Following Ms. Tiffany will be Alejandro Galindo.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Galindo. I live at Lagan Road, 409, Henderson, Nevada. Mayor John Lee, through you to the rest of the council, I would like to thank you in your consideration in preserving our Western heritage. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How can I deny Miss Rodeo America? That was cute. Alejandro? And after there, Karina Mayers. That'll be our final person.
Mayor, for the record, Alejandro Alindo, 5318 East Washington Avenue. Mayor John Lee, through you, to the rest of the board. It's a pleasure to be up here, and I'd like to say that, I'm impressed. I'm impressed at this board for showing the diversity. You guys represent the community of North Las Vegas, city of North Las Vegas, to the T. You guys are a diverse board, and it's beautiful to see you guys coming out of your zone to actually understand a culture and a heritage that's just the same. Our culture doesn't discriminate against race or color. We're one culture, and we're the culture of those that wake up every morning to the smell of bacon and eggs, see the sunrise, hot coffee, and the fresh smell of manure. That's us, and it's beautiful. I appreciate you guys taking this into consideration and listening to all you and actually inviting me out here. I know we've been working on this a year, and you guys just coming out here and understanding it, it's beautiful. From Councilwoman Goins and listening to her background as far as her father and the Union building, the Union Pacific building, I believe she mentioned. That's our Western heritage. It's beautiful. And to others that had questions about our heritage and how we do our livestock, how we, take care of our livestock. It's just, I'm very impressed. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for you guys listening to us. And this community, this Western heritage community is very proud of your board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And the last one is Karina Mayers. Is Karina here? There she is.
Hi, my name is Karina Mares. I am the secretary of the Jurupa Valley Horsemen's Association in the state of California in my local city. I want to thank you for the hard work, consideration, and dedication that you have to your Western community. I've happened to hear of some of your meetings that you guys have done in order to get this presented. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to meet with people locally in Las Vegas as well as other states and as a nation in the United States, and they all have one thing in common: the concern of animal welfare while preserving our Western heritage. I just wanted to thank you once again for your time, not just right now, but all the time that it took to listen to your community of North Las Vegas and scheduling all these meetings and discussions, which I know takes a lot of your time along with other things you have on your plate. I just want to thank you for your consideration for the Western community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one else, we'll close public comment. Council, comments or questions? Councilwoman.
Well, I would like to say that I'm very proud of this particular ordinance. I think it's a great example of what this council can accomplish when we work together. The animal hoarding section has been something that I've been pushing for well over a year now. I know that Councilman Barone has been working very closely with the Latino community, dealing with the rodeo events section, and I know that Councilman Turcio has been passionately advocating dealing with the section on outdoor sellers and pet shops and the use of nonprofits and things. So I think that all of us working together, we've come up with an ordinance that protects animals, but is allowing for some economic development to occur with the rodeos, and is just an improvement for North Las Vegas all around. So it's some multi-brainstorming, but I think it works.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Churchill.
Thank you, Mayor. As a council, we have put in a lot of hours. Staff has put in a lot of hours. Our city attorney has put in a lot of hours. And Councilwoman Wood spoke about the economic benefit, and so did Alex over there. And I have to thank you. I mean, very well represented. Appreciate you coming here tonight, because it was very important for you to come and show your support, not of council, but for the issue. Just let me state that that rodeos were never banned in North Las Vegas. They were just never allowed. The whole idea of what we did over here and what we're trying to do here, and that's only one component of what we'll be voting on here tonight. This is really the overriding issue over here in all of this, whether it be the pet shops sales, and we don't have any pet shops in North Las Vegas that sell any animals now, but we did want to be proactive. Thanks to the owner of Broad Acres, Mr. Greg Dance, he curtailed selling animals, I would say back in 2009, 2010, because of an incident over there. So he's been very cooperative with us. But this whole thing, in part, is about protecting animals. It's not necessarily just about economic growth and whatnot, and all of the other things, the cultural aspect of it, which is all very important. But we want to make sure at the end of the day, for the people that, and I'll speak for myself here, for the people that I represent who are very passionate about the protection of animals and the proper treatment, and I'll put myself at the top of that poll, that regardless of what the event is, at the end of the day, it's got to be proper and played well with the community, and also treat the animals well, regardless, in my estimation, of the economic impact, pro or con. So I appreciate all of you here tonight. I didn't know what to expect. You know, we were very inclusive, excuse me, when we sat down with a lot of the nonprofits, with Alejandro there, and the Humane Society and Heaven Can Wait. We wanted to make sure that we didn't create something in a vacuum that nobody understood or didn't support. We made sure that we took our time, as much time as we can take, and we did. Our attorneys sent the draft out to many of the nonprofits and organizations to look at, to review, and send back their opinion, ideas, and such. So there was nothing being done here tonight that we as a council wanted to force feed anybody. We want to be very open and transparent. So I think this is a step in the right direction. This is part of Title VI. There are other things coming in there, more technical in wording. But at the end of the day, it's all going to be very, very positive for the city, positive for our little animal friends, and of course for our rodeos as well. So thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Barone.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you very much, Councilman Churchill, and of course, Councilwoman Woods. I tell you, this is probably I think again one of the very best pieces of ordinance that we've ever put together. And again, as the Councilman Churchill pointed out, it's been very well vetted by our staff, and we've worked very closely with our community members. And for each and every one of you who had a hand in this, I want to thank you for taking your time and helping guide us here at the city. For me, the two biggest parts are, number one, we get to protect animals, and number two, we get to build community. And what do I mean by building community? Well, it's not just Latinos, Hispanics, Mexicans, Mexican Americans like myself who like rodeos. We have a lot of friends here in this is the home. This is the Valley of the Home at the National Finals Rodeo, right? We also know that we have other friends in the surrounding region here in Utah, in Arizona, and in Southern California, who You know, if we had a nice little stadium, I think we could probably draw in and be the home to a nice regional rodeo that would actually build community. Having Hispanics and also our Caucasian friends all together, and I'll be there at the front there, whooping and hollering and watching guys getting their butts kicked by bulls, right? I'm the guy who cheers for the Bulls, by the way. You know, I just do. You know, I like watching PBR, and I'm the guy who actually I wear the shirts with the bull. I'm a fan of Whirlwind. That's my favorite bull, and I like to watch him stomp on humans. But that being said, this as of course there will be a positive economic impact for the city, and I think our residents will in the end be very proud that we're trying to move the city into new directions, and I think filling the niches that are out there and available to our city. I think this is a winning ordinance all around. And Mayor, I thank you very much for my extended indulgence here.
Was that in the form of a motion or just a...
A matter of fact, unless someone else would like to say something, I'd like to make the motion to approve, but of course my friend here...
I would like to say something, sir.
Okay.
Councilwoman Wood, Councilman Churchill, sorry there, my friend. Just want to say thank you for the work that you just to spearhead this effort, and also thank you to staff who worked so hard on this. And my main concern is basically just the protection and the safety and the welfare of our animals. Mr. Alejandro Galindo, thank you for the kind words. Boy, you took us back some years there, didn't you? Appreciate it. And then also, and I'm a rodeo lover as well, and I think this past year, sitting next to Mayor Lee at the rodeo, I think he screamed, hooped, and hollered louder than I did, but we had a great time. So just thank you all around, and I'm really proud of this ordinance as well.
Thank you very much. So Councilman Barone made a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to pass and adopt this ordinance.
Please cast your vote. Item is approved. Item number 20.
Item number 20.
Wait. You're welcome to go now. I'm just saying, it might be another hour here, so if you want to take off and go right now, go right ahead, okay? Thank you very much.
Item number 20, ordinance number 2799, amending Chapter 22, Section 010, by adding subsections E and F to Title V of the North Las Vegas Municipal Code to define resort hotels and other types of hotels, to set distribution of all monies received from room rentals by hotel types, effective March 1st, 2017, with monies distributed between the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, City of North Las Vegas, Regional Transportation Commission, State of Nevada, Clark County School District, and Clark County Treasurer, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto for possible action.
Thank you.
Mayor and council members, I'm sorry, I have a last minute change to fix a clerical error on this item. I'd like to read it into the record. This change in the first table in section 4 of the ordinance should be as follows. The distribution to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority should be 5.5%, and the distribution to the City of North Las Vegas should be 1%. And I also like to note this change does not really impact the current formula that we receive, and the additional room taxes add on top of that, that will go to what was intended by the state legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. So that would be an amendment to this right here. That's what I just make sure.
Yeah, we recommend you to approve this ordinance as amended.
As amended, yes. Thank you. Council, any other comments or questions? If not, the chair will take a motion.
Question now, that's only on the section 4. Is it also for F as well?
No, it's only for the first table in section 4. Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
the total percentage still 13%, and just the first top two lines need to be changed to what I read into record.
Perfect.
Councilwoman, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to motion to approve.
As amended.
As amended.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Liu. Items approved.
Item 21, ordinance number 2805, amending ordinance number 2731, amending the development agreement for the Wong Hai Project Vegas Trade Village between the City of North Las Vegas and James Liu on behalf of Meng Chung Sai and Meng Wei Sai, and providing for other matters properly relating thereto for possible action.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, welcome.
Thank you. Mayor, members of the council, George Garcia, 1055 Whitney Ranch Drive, Suite 210. Pleasure to offer this amendment to the first development agreement, and also to indicate that with the help of staff, Mark Jordan, we've made great strides, along with working with Republic Services, our neighbor, represented through Bob Gronauer's here tonight. Based on those discussions and meetings, we'd offer, and I believe concurrence by Republic Services, I understand it, with that assumption, offer this amended development agreement revised from the original that you had. Included in this are all the changes that we've discussed with staff and Mr. Gronauer and arrived at, I believe, an agreement and understanding, with one change, that in Exhibit B we had the spacing between the trees at 20 feet. It's my understanding that Republic Services would like that spacing at 15 feet, and so we're happy to make that change. While it's not the best for the health of the trees, I think it's the best for the health of our neighbors, so we're glad to do it. And with that, I'd offer the changes, and I believe Mark can walk through those if you like in more detail. But with that, I think let's see what our neighbors say.
We invite Mr. Groner up here. Bobby, would you come up here for a sec? 'Cause we're going to read this amendment, and I'd like to have you standing by for your client here. Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Bobby, would you like to say something?
Yes, just for the record, Bob Gronauer, 1980 Festival Plaza Drive. With respect to the landscaping change, that was what was agreed to about a year ago. As you recall, we had landscape consultants that we hired along with engineers to put these conditions together, and we've been told that 15-foot on center, 2 rows of trees are going to be fine with being maintained. So we're fine with that condition. We appreciate Mr. Garcia of putting that back into what was already agreed to a year ago. So at this point in time, I don't think we have any other comments.
Mr. Jordan?
Mayor, council, if you may, I have several amendments I'd like to read in. Some of the amendments are really more of a housekeeping item, so I'm just going to relate the section, but I'm not going to go into the details of it. First amendment would be on the first page, correcting the spelling of amendment. Second page, the very first paragraph, it would the very first sentence would just simply be amended to read, "This First Amendment to the October 21st, 2015 Development Agreement referred to herein as the agreement and are the First Amendment," and then the rest of the paragraph remains the same. Under Section 1.01, the definition for accessory unit would read, accessory unit means a subordinate unit not exceeding a gross floor area of 800 square feet, which is clearly incidental to and located within the principal building, which is permitted in association with the limited residential use for quarters or of security or related personnel. Owners of the unit are their immediate family members within the first degree of consanguinity or equivalently affinity, and that's it. The definition for agreement would read agreement or First Amendment, and then the remainder of it would remain the same. Under the definition of hotel, that's really more of a housekeeping item just to make restaurants and bars plural. They're also adding a definition for a regional agreement, which means the Wong Hai Project Development Agreement approved by the city on October 21st, 2015. Yes, but 2015. It's got an extra zero in there. Under 2.01, recitals, paragraphs A, B, C are just simply a housekeeping item, as the word developer was all capitalized, and it's just proper capitalization on that, as well as the word property in that. Paragraph H, again, just a housekeeping item, not capitalizing all the words and capitalizing the proper words, as well as paragraph I and J. Section 3.01, which is phasing. Again, it's just housekeeping and capitalization, and then adding the word section before 3.05. Likewise, 3.02 is housekeeping and capitalization. 3.03, while it looks like there's a lot of changes there, that's really housekeeping and spelling out SF to mean square foot and spelling out 264,000 or 264. Paragraph 3.06, this is new. This is going to be amended to read subsequent approvals. Any land use amendment approvals shall be required prior to obtaining any and all building permits for each development phase described in the phasing plan. A single final development plan for the entire development or for each development phase at the discretion of the developer shall be provided by the Planning Commission with courtesy copies or courtesy notices 20 days prior to the Planning Commission meeting to the adjacent properties as listed in this agreement. Any substantial changes as determined by staff shall be a public hearing, subject to the development agreement. Going to page 10, section 3.13, says written notification to public. The owner shall post and continuously maintain written notifications in conspicuous locations of the property at not less than 4 inches by 6 inches as herein defined in accordance with the terms set forth in this section. All written notifications shall be clearly and unambiguously state that 1. Properties with heavy industrial uses surround the property. 2. The heavy industrial uses predate the development of the property. And 3. Considerable noise, dust, and odors may and are likely to occur as a result of such heavy industrial uses. For the purpose of this section, conspicuous location shall mean the lobby of the hotel, each guest room of the hotel, and each common room of the hotel, such as a gym or meeting room. No sign shall be obscured or hidden from view by anything. Section 3.14, written notice to purchasers or tenants, owners shall in every sales or lease agreement provide a written notice of disclosure that clearly and unambiguously states properties with heavy industrial uses surround the property. 2, the heavy industrial uses predate the development of the property. And 3, considerable noise, dust, and odors may and are likely to occur as a result of such heavy industrial uses. And 4, the uses have no known plans to cease and may increase during its existence. On section 5.02, the last sentence, it will start off, if the parties agree to the term, the parties shall, and then the rest of that sentence remains the same. Under section .09 notices, we've added Christopher R. McAuliffe, Esquire, 601 South Rancho Drive, Suite A10, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89106, as one of the notifications. Now moving to Exhibit B, which is page 19. Condition number 6, number 2, has been amended to 24-inch box Mondale pine trees, which shall be planted in 2 offset rows at 15 feet on center, with an effective spacing of 15 feet on center, and a 3-foot berm and landscaping. And then number 3 there, under 6 again, a decorative wall to match the appearance of Republic Services perimeter wall on Commerce, and then the rest of it remains the same. Under 7, number 2, on page 20, a decorative wall having a height of 6 feet with the tree branches to commence at the top of the wall. Number 11 is just simply capitalizing Barber. Number 31, I'm sorry, yeah. It's, let's see, the sentence, I don't really want to read the whole thing, it's, sorry. It's the second sentence, and we were adding the word written between such and acknowledgement, so it would, in such written acknowledgement to the owners, and then the rest of it would remain the same. And number 43, all required off-street improvements for any phase and landscape buffers, and then the rest of that remains the same. And as Mr. Garcia indicated, they've also revised the site plan to correct the square footage for the amount of retail that is now proposed in there. Otherwise, those are the changes we're reading into the record.
Thank you. This is as good as anything the legislature does. This is a good report here. Mr. Garcia, on page 19, 6.3, decorative wall to match the appearance. Can you give me an idea what that decorative wall is?
The decorative wall to match the Republic services. Mr. Grunauer probably can explain better what that
Is
decorative
that going down that whole side, or?
It's only a portion, basically, where at the back portion where sort of like the trucks would be screened from view. So it's not the entire length of the property. It's for the commercial area, would be basically remain with just the landscaping and the berm that we described. Only at the back northwest corner would there be where there are the truck loading docks. In that center area back there would be where the screening would occur to screen those trucks, as you would typically do in an industrial outdoor storage or truck parking environment.
Thank you very much. Mr. Grunauer, could you come up for a second? Are you speaking for your clients tonight? Yes. Are your clients in agreement with Mr. Garcia? Are your clients in agreement with this? Well, I'm just asking you both here yet.
For the record, again, Bob Gronauer, I'm here representing Republic Services, and yes, I'm here representing these changes to the agreement. I don't know what else you may need, but.
Okay.
I think we're both in agreement.
Okay, thank you very much.
Question.
At this time,
Mayor, I have a question.
oh yes, pardon me.
Mark, you had mentioned something yesterday about the 24-inch box trees, and then now that they're 15 feet apart, that's adequate space to allow for growth, the roots and all that in the ground?
Yes, Mayor, Council. Yes, to answer your question.
Okay.
24-inch box tree. Originally, there was a question about 48-inch box trees, and that was quite large. Normally, when you plant a tree, you're going to dig the hole twice as wide as the box, so that's an 8-foot hole you would have to dig. In this particular case, 24-inch box trees is our normal requirement for any type of commercial or industrial development.
Okay, thanks. I had the numbers mixed up there. Thank you.
I have two. I'll release you guys just for a second. I got two other people, Mr. McCullough, Chris McCullough, and Mr. Jason Jensen. For the record, as Mr. McCullough is coming here, he's also my attorney in other business matters that I have, but that will not affect my decision on this. He has a lot of clients.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. Christopher McCullough, 601 South Rancho Drive, on behalf of North 5th and Cheyenne LLC, which is the easterly neighbor to the subject property. It's not often in a public meeting I think I can use the word bamboozled, but that's what I think has happened here. We feel like we've been bamboozled. This project, when it was presented to us and negotiated with my client, was a wholesale market center with a minor residential component and balconies on these units that were not accessible and a certain landscape buffer, and without our approval and without our even extensive discussion, they just changed it all. It's now, we got to start with the retail component. It was a wholesale center, not a retail center. It's now a retail center. Every one of these 264 shops has retail. It will become a traffic nightmare for my client with the vehicular traffic that'll be there. Our landscape buffer was 24-inch Mondale pines in 2 offset rows. Now it's 1 row. Just changed on us without our consent. The balconies went from balconies which could not be accessed, aesthetic only, decorative. Now they're accessible. They try to slide them by you by going there for gardening purposes. So if I put a potted plant out there, I guess I could just sit there all day and claim I'm gardening. Residential units went from there for security guards to security guards, owners, family members, anybody, no time limitations. They can stay there permanently if they want, even though residential units are not allowed in M2 zone. Signage, 4 by 6 inch, that's 4 by 6 inches. Hotel lobby, you tell me you can read that from here? There's no possibility. I don't have a problem with the 4x6 on the back of the hotel room door, but in a lobby, this will never be seen by anyone. It'll be off on the side of the hotel lobby and be completely obscured. I'd at least ask you for that issue to go back to the 2-foot by 3-foot sign that was originally agreed to for the hotel lobby. In the hotel rooms, I don't have a problem with this being on the back of the door because it'll be visible. All in all, we feel like we have agreed to everything in the first instance. We gave the applicant, we gave the Hung Hai project an easement across our property, which has saved them $1.5 million. They agreed to deed us the cul-de-sac at Goldafield. We haven't gotten it. What we've gotten is an agreement that's been completely changed without our consent, and we'd ask that you reject it and not pass this ordinance. Thank you.
Yep, and I have nothing more to
Mr.
add.
Jensen? Yeah, please proceed.
I said I have nothing more to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Council, this has been going on for 6 months now, and one way or the other, we're going to have this, a vote on this today. I don't know, I understand Mr. Jensen and Mr. McCullough's desire to make sure that they don't have issues in the future, that they're recognizing that it could be a detriment to this project. Mr. Liu's very aware of this. I can attest that they've been at the table the whole time this has happened and have been and had been a great benefit to the project, you know, with the easement and stuff like that. So, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, Mayor. I think we'd certainly love the council's support on this, and I think obviously it's a great project. We think it's, as you do with any project, and I think you see this often where projects come back before you for changes and refinements. So I don't think this is any different than that. So I don't know that I agree with the characterization, but that we're somehow changing the deal. I think we're certainly coming before you in a normal, transparent way. Tried to work with both clients. Our client to the east chose not to attend the meetings, as Wild Republic did, and we worked out those solutions. As far as there is an agreement in place to provide the Meldrums with that access that they sought to get some access through a cul-de-sac down to Cheyenne. That side agreement, which is not part of the city's agreement, there is a side agreement that was signed, and the agreement to the balconies in that. But at the same time, that dedication, the owner was in my office, and it's been signed. There are two owners. One of the owners signed it last week, as well as the power of attorney for Mr. Liu. So we have two signatures. The second signature by the second owner, who's coming to the United States, will sign the deed transfer so that will occur. And if not, the power of agreement, if for some reason he can't make it, they can sign the power of agreement back overseas, and Mr. Liu then can sign the deed on behalf of the second owner. So one way or the other, we have every intent, basically, to transfer that land, and we have started proceeding to do so. So we are moving along in fulfillment of all the agreements and our obligations to the city and to our neighbors, and we continue to do so.
The question on the cul-de-sac or the small road?
Well, it's a small road right now, and it's cul-de-sac at the end of it. So the one in the same Goldfield, we used to be that portion of Goldfield on the east side of our property that basically was being used by our neighbor, without our consent. But this will take care of that situation going forward.
Okay, so the balconies, at one time were going to be balconies that people could actually go out there and enjoy the view or whatever. That's been scaled back to that it's not.
Yes, correct, man. And so I think that the key here is what we've tried to, explain, is that the balconies, at least for Mr. Liu, have become an important marketing element. So what we want to do is allow that for the people he's marketing to include it with the recognition that if you're buying this property, as you heard Mark read in the agreement, you have to sign a disclosure acknowledging there's industrial, there's noise, there's dust, and all those things. So if you go outside, whether it's in the courtyard or you go outside in your balcony, as an owner, and only people are allowed in this. You're not allowed to rent it. It clearly states these cannot be apartments. So the owners know full well what they're buying and accepting, and that's been fully disclosed, and they have signed an acknowledgement to that. And I think that's going forward helps protect both ourselves as well as our neighbors, with that acknowledgement in place and that disclosure. And my acknowledgement to that would be similar to the pig farm when people bought in there. They went out, and if they went out in their backyard, they would be exposed, and they knew full well what they were buying. So I think it's similar in that very much in that manner, that you know that you're coming to this location and you're trying to protect that existing uses that are already there. And that's we're not trying to do anything to disrupt it. We want to recognize and make sure that they're protected as well as us.
Thank you very much. Councilman?
Yeah, Mayor, thank you very much. I appreciate the applicant, of course, and the properties coming down. I mean, living here in North Las Vegas all my life, of course, one place I frequented was China Hill there at City View Park. And I'll tell you what, looking to the north, that's an ugly piece of property. I mean, it is unsightly. I know how difficult it is to actually get a project off the ground. I mean, there's so many things that people have planned. If nothing else ever happened other than the fact that Mr. Liu actually pays for the cleanup of that property, which he'll have to do before he does anything else, I mean, I would be in favor of voting that just for that. I mean, it's an unsightly piece of property. But there's more. I think there's a lot more to than this. As a social studies teacher, I'd like to point out that our little city here, our little North Las Vegas, and people might think it's a little bit of an exaggeration. We're now a city on the Pacific Rim, like it or not. We have gained recognition. Thank you very much to you, Mayor, our city manager, and the rest of the staff. We've now gained recognition with a worldwide audience, and mostly, a nation of a 1.5 billion people. They know who we are, and the automobiles that I have every expectation that will soon be coming out of our plant at Apex. They're going to be exported not just to the United States, but around the Pacific Rim and to China. This is I think, an opportunity for a project that, well, quite frankly, doesn't necessarily fit with things that we've done in the past. It's a quirky, it's unusual, it's an interesting project. But I think, it's ambitious, and I think it's perfect for the new attitude that we have here in North Las Vegas. Bringing forward, being a little bold, doing something a little bit different. If there's more traffic in the area, well, man, I would like to be able to come back a few years from now and be able to vote to expand something on Cheyenne, because we have so many people coming into the area, quite frankly, making this project a destination in an otherwise a place that I really don't see too many other things, I don't see too many other developers chomping at the bit to come into this very unsightly spot and doing anything else. That being said, I understand there are legitimate traffic concerns. I have a feeling, though, that the neighbors, they have smart people working for them, and they'll be able to figure ways out. And if they need to work with our city staff, to come to solutions, I very much welcome them to come down and do what they need to do to make sure that everything works out for everybody. I do realize this is it's a little bit of a risky project. But I think we should allow our new investors who are willing to dump quite a lot of bit of money into this area. And when they're done, I'm going to welcome them to come and dump a lot more money into the downtown area as well. Thank you very much.
Councilman Churchill.
Thank you, Mayor. When I met with Mr. McCullough and Mr. Jensen, they brought out a lot of issues like they brought out tonight. But one of the concerns that they brought out, if I remember correctly, was off of Goldfield, where that cul-de-sac is, when the vehicles go out there, to be able to make a turn. And I don't recall if it was a left turn or a right turn. It probably was a left turn going eastward. I know I used to come down North Fifth. But it was a little too dusty over there for my car. So now I go down Losey and take the longer route. But is that going to pose a problem over there in reality that they brought out? Are there any plans to do anything with that cul-de-sac as far as getting those trucks to be able to turn over there?
Maybe I should answer that
Yes,
question. Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, and Shannon's Enda Road, we actually discussed this option with Mr. Meldrum and Jason back in December when we had a meeting with Mayor Lee and the Meldrum family. And they expressed the desire to have a left turn there, but it's very close to the North Fifth Street intersection. Obviously, they would not be able to make that left turn unless it's a signal. Being a private driveway, that will be privately funded. City has committed to work with them and help them to work with ENDA. At the end of the day, ENDA would be the jurisdiction prove that.
And I would add, Mayor, that in our site agreement, we also agreed to support our neighbor in trying to do whatever possible on that signal that's contemplated by that agreement. So we fully understand that a signal is something they seek, and we certainly would support them in trying to get that approval.
Thank you. I'm just asking council
Thank you.
members.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Just to piggy, oh, I'm sorry, were you done? Okay, just to piggyback off of what Mayor Pro Tem said, this is a unique project. And when it was first brought to our attention, we thought it was very unique, different, one of these think outside of the box type of projects. And that was one reason I wanted to welcome it. It's just, we have to grow as our nation changes and our nation grows, as we become more diverse communities within pockets of the city. And we either have to keep up or we're going to get left behind. And I totally like the new renderings that were presented to us. Was a better product than we saw at the very first time. And I think Mr. Liu has gone far and beyond giving to our neighbors on both sides. And so I just welcome this project, and I look forward to seeing it come to fruition. And also, just to add something to that Cheyenne corridor, more retail, restaurants, a gas station, bank, what have you, will be on that particular property. Thank you.
Ms. Woods.
Okay, I've got a couple things here. One is, now we've talked a little bit about this property being cleaned up. I thought that was supposed to have been done by the end of 16, and I don't think it has been. So do we, based on this phasing that you were talking about, Mark, do we have some kind of new date for when this cleanup is supposed to be completed by?
Mayor, Council, the proposed amendments do not have a new date on that, but I believe the applicant has been working with the health district on some dates on when they have to have that property cleaned up.
George, do you have a time frame?
I don't have a specific date, but we are actively and have been working, so it's not like it's getting, nothing's been taking place. So we've been actively working with going through the engineering studies that need to be done.
I mean, are we looking at the end of 2017 or 2018?
No, at the end of 2017, certainly.
Okay. All right. Now, you owe me some pictures. Did we get an answer on?
I have some pictures if we can go to the overhead. The one, I printed them out, I got them printed out, but they didn't turn out particularly well. When you print them out, they get pixelated. So I'll pull them up, and if we can zoom in, see, they look better on the screen. But this is showing the progress. If we can zoom in, you can see the progress on site. Here, and I don't know, since I wasn't with you when you took the trip, I'm not sure what all you saw, but you can see both the existing work that's going on in the existing building, quite a bit of construction vehicles. In fact, in one of these coming up here, you'll see that there's a substantial number of vehicles. Oh, here, this one, you can see the extensive amount of heavy equipment that's on site.
Well, what I've been trying to figure out is, since we've been there, which was easily 18 months, 2 years ago, how many of these, now I realize there's an issue as to whether they're retail or wholesale units, but of these 264 units, how many of those have been built at the California property?
Well, as I said, I'm not sure what you saw, so how much of this is what I'm presenting to you is what
there
was
were none
visible
at
when
the
you
time.
saw there. So I don't know whether if there was, these structures were there, and you can see where obviously additional work is underway on the structures. They're not completed, they're underway. So
okay, and do they have balconies or accessible balconies or?
I didn't get into the detail of the plans for the California project. I don't have an answer to that.
Well, can you get us some answers?
Sure,
because
absolutely.
At some point, I would not mind actually going back to see the property and actually see the parts being built that I thought I was going to see 2 years ago, and they were not ready.
Because I would, this is hard to kind of envision in, on paper, but without kind of seeing the example. And I also will go on the record and say I've been asking, I don't know why it never gets part of the record, but I would certainly still like to see a market analysis done before there's any movement, and particularly by a reputable company, before there's any movement on the hotel. Because if this hotel is, in fact, for Americans, I question whether this is going to be as popular as for Americans as it would be for foreign visitors. And if it's intended for foreign visitors, fine, but that's not the way the project's been relayed. So I agree that this is kind of a unique project, and I certainly don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, we keep talking about the pig farm, and I just don't want this to be another hassle for councils down the road going, boy, what did this group do? So I really want to make sure that we have as much in answers as we can get. And Mark, the final one is for you while you were doing all your changes here and reading them into the record. On page 9, you were, part of what I believe was read into the record was all these number changes, but then there's 2 paragraphs that didn't get changed, and then it gets picked up on the next page, and the numbers are changing again. So
Can you go, you're on page 9 at this moment?
yes, page 9. So we start making changes to 30.
Oh, 3045, then to 3056.
Right, but
Yeah.
then you've got another 306, then 307, and then you pick up on the next page with 8 going to 9. So I think you're still missing 2.
Good, that's a good point, I think. And so it looks like the 306 financial plan should be 7, the 307 restrictions
Right.
on hotels should be 8, and then it picks up on the next page at 9. So there would be, those 2 would be corrected, I believe, Mark, to
Well,
7 and 8.
Mark, there
So
could be,
while you're making all your amendments, you might as well add the numbering and make sure the numbering works for everybody.
Yes, we'll make sure that's done.
so that could be Scribner's error. You can
Oh,
take
yes.
care of that in
Absolutely.
there. Okay, thank you. Councilman?
I just have one quick question. I'm not sure, just in deference to my colleague's question, is it typical to get a market study before we approve a project? Yeah, is it typical to get a market study?
Well, we're
It's
not
not a
requiring that on this
requirement.
time.
It's not a requirement by our code, but
Yeah, no, that's what I'm just asking if it's,
Yeah.
if it's necessary requirement.
yeah.
Well, in that case, I myself, Mayor, at this point, if unless someone else would like to do so, I'd like to make a motion to adopt this or pass and adopt it
As amended.
as amended.
Mark's amendment. Thank you very much. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote. Items approved.
Mayor and Council, thank you.
Moving on to the city manager's report.
Mayor and council will have our PLO, and he's going to make a update on state of the city.
Welcome, Ms. Goldberg.
So I have a PowerPoint. A little over a month ago, on January 26th, we had our 21st annual North Las Vegas State of the City address, and I think by all accounts it was a huge success. We had a sold-out crowd at Aliante Casino. We returned there after a couple years at other properties, and I wanted to say thank you to our friends at Boyd Gaming. They were very gracious hosts. They worked with us, and it was a wonderful venue. The only issue was we had more people than we had room for, so I think if they had a bigger space, we could have filled that as well. Sold out crowd. I also wanted to give a shout out to Faraday Future. They were gracious enough to bring the FF91 production car to our State of the City, since it's going to be manufactured very soon here in North Las Vegas, to show off to the news and the world watching our State of the City their new product. And so that was really exciting. That it was only the second time it had been seen locally after CES, the big debut. I'd also like to mention that we partnered with the Las Vegas Metro Chamber of Commerce. They're a great partner in our State of the City. This is an ongoing relationship that we had, and they helped us get the word out about the event. We ran full-page ads with them in the Business Voice magazine. They sent out weekly emails to the business community in their newsletter and email blasts, and they ran banner ads on their chamber website. They also helped with our ticketing at the event, and so we thank them for all their participation as well. So again, not only did we have a sold-out crowd, we had a huge success in terms of media mentions. We had 91 media mentions of the event leading up to the day of and after. We had an audience reach of a little bit more than 1.7 million viewers, and that was a 29% increase from last year. So that was a big success. And then those viewership numbers are worth the equivalent of $113,000 and change in advertising dollars in our earned media, and that's a 32% increase from last year. So I think all around, it was good. We'll build on those numbers for next year. And now, if it's okay with council, I'd like to show our State of the City video that we prepared for the event. It's about 6.5 minutes long, and I think it really shows all the hard work you guys have done and where we are and where we're going as a city.
It's a new dawn.
Go on modulation, all four, and keying with a go.
It's a new day. It's a new life. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
In North Las Vegas, we have two speeds, fast and faster. In less than 4 years, we have transformed our city from a financial liability that threatened the health of the entire state into a high-tech hub of technology and innovation that's emerging us as the breadbasket of the entire Southern Nevada region. Thanks to the dedication of our hardworking staff and our commitment to solve problems creatively, North Las Vegas has become a national leader in business recruitment and economic development. We are building big, diversifying our region and boosting the economy of our state and creating new opportunities for businesses and for our residents.
In just the past year alone, we have brought thousands of jobs to Southern Nevada and recruited companies that will pump billions of dollars into our local economy. No isn't in our vocabulary when we see a project or idea is worthy. We find innovative ways to help our business partners succeed. Where skeptics see challenges, we see possibilities.
Prologis is a global investor with over $65 billion of investments around the world. We've been able to develop over 2 million square feet over the last couple of years here in North Las Vegas. The City of North Las Vegas has been wonderful to work with in fast-tracking the projects. As an investor, we can go kind of where we want to. We can develop in Los Angeles or Phoenix or other markets, but the City of North Las Vegas has really made a point of making themselves available on the front end. People work hard to make themselves available even after hours, and we found that everybody in the city has been a consummate professional and helps us get to a yes answer. The city has been a wonderful partner to work with over the years, and this is a market that we will continue to invest significant dollars in the years ahead.
How did we reverse our city's fortunes in 3 short years? By running our government like a business. We found efficiencies in the way we operate to better serve our customers and residents. We make it easy to do business in our city. And as a result, North Las Vegas now is at the top of the list of cities nationally when companies are looking to relocate and expand.
The city understands that time is money. They are going to get to yes one way or another. They really treat you as if they're your partner. And so when I pitch North Las Vegas, I say, look, this isn't like any municipality you've ever met with before. They're going to open doors for you. They're going to help you through the process, and they're going to make your business successful. Now we have some of the most exciting names in Apex developing and building their businesses. In 5 or 10 years, I think we'll really be a successful industrial park. I think you'll see some more technology firms out there, some more heavy industrial firms, and I think they'll all blend and mesh nicely, and I think you'll see it being a real employment base for the city of North Las Vegas and the surrounding area.
I consistently hear from constituents who are so grateful for the customer service that we offer them here in North Las Vegas. Whether it's the accessibility of our staff, the ease of paying a utility bill at our kiosk, the quick response of our police and fire departments, or the dozens of free family events we offer, we have succeeded at making government easy and accessible.
The hiring that the city's doing, I think, is a really great thing. I know that we went for a while without any hiring, and it created some challenges within the department, but now that the city is growing again and the community is growing, that gives us the opportunity to also do more things with our department. And the new recruits that are coming in are going to be a boost to our morale and to the city in able to cover more area and do more good for the people of the community. The only thing I could say is that I'm very proud to work for the city of North Las Vegas.
Over the past year, we've recruited new charter schools, expanded our parks, improved our roads, and secured walking trails and amenities at our Urban National Monument at Tule Springs. In the coming year, we'll see more new schools in North Las Vegas, more restaurants and retail shops, and thousands of new homes built, offering our growing number of residents even more options to live, work, and play.
The quality of life, to me, is very important, and we have a good quality of life here in North Las Vegas. Now with the mayor that we have, Mayor Lee, and the people supporting him, the city is growing. The prospects for the city are growing. We did get people who have visions. We do have people who want to make this community good. And I've seen the turnaround, and I'm really enthused about the future.
When I took office, I laid out a transformational 7-year plan. We are only 3.5 years into the plan, and our achievements are far beyond what the experts thought was possible. Despite our successes, there is a lot more work to be done, and we have no intention of slowing down. We are well on our way to achieving my personal goal of building 100 million square feet of new warehouses, commercial space, and buildings to house the multiple Fortune 500 companies coming to North Las Vegas and creating thousands of permanent jobs for our residents. The development of Apex Utilities at Apex Industrial Park will make thousands of acres of land available for more development to continue to bring unprecedented growth and economic opportunity to our region. North Las Vegas is on the fast track to success, and we want you to join in our prosperity as we help your organization grow. We want to bring you success and make you money. Partner with us and reach new levels unseen in our region and our state. Together, we'll continue to push Southern Nevada to new heights and leave our competitors in the dust. And that's how we roll. No, we might make some statements, though. If I could go first and thank the staff, you guys, every year gets better and better. The seamless transition between Craig and you and how you put this together, I get a lot of credit for things I don't do. And one of them is that whole event. All I worry about is that speech, and I appreciate you for that. I'd like the Chamber of Commerce and for all the effort that they put in to this wonderful event. Kristen runs a great organization over there. They are a great partner to us, and I'm continually getting phone calls from Chamber about new companies coming and different things that are going on that we can get involved in. And so that is a great, great partnership. I think the third person or group I'd like to take is the Aliante Hotel for doing the impossible. When they said we were sold out, we said we're not sold out. They started adding an extra seat to every table, condensing the stage down. They did everything they possibly could as a good partner to see that we had a good event to tell the story of North Las Vegas. And so I'm very appreciative. Though it might seem that a lot of credit comes my way, I'm very proud to say that the City Council has been there every step of the way and every single one of those votes to make sure that the success of North Las Vegas is recognized as a team effort. And with that, Dr. Liu, it's your team. It's your employees. It's the attitude that you have and the leadership style that you have that allows your employees to realize that you're in this thing 110%, so they give 110%. And we appreciate your leadership and Michaela's leadership, and actually Jennifer and all the way down the line here, the great directors that you have, that each one of them act independently like small business owners to see that this happens. So that would be my comment. Please take that back, Dr. Liu, to your team, but recognize you're the leader. And we might have a lot of great ideas, but it's your team and your associates that actually make these things happen. So appreciate you for that.
Thank you, Mayor, for your kind words.
Councilwoman?
And I'd just like to say, when you put together events such as our State of the City, we don't all see what goes on in the background, but we sure do appreciate that you make us shine. And no matter how much work you all have put into putting this whole State of the City together, at that event, you even shined and you smiled like this is the greatest thing. So thank you, because I know it's a lot of work. So thank you, and I appreciate everything that staff has done.
Councilman Churchio.
I just want to add thank you to all of you for what you do. You know we appreciate you. So I'll relinquish the rest of my time to Mayor Pro Tem Barone because he very rarely has an opportunity to speak.
How about I'll kind of sum it up like this. I thanks to you, to Dr. Liu and the rest of the staff. Those you few who do so much with so little and have been doing so for so long, I think you're all qualified to do almost anything with nothing. Good job. Thank you very much.
Good point. Councilwoman.
Well, I do. Like everyone, I think you guys did an amazing job. But I think what it really comes down to is all the people and the staff actually that isn't in this room. I mean, as the directors and the council and the PIO, we get all the attention and we get all the, like Councilwoman Goins-Brown said, you know, we're the ones that are made to look good. But, I mean, it's really the staff that comes in, the officers, you know, that come in every day, code enforcement guys, animal control, utilities, you know, all the departments and everyone that works in those, you know, and finance that just balances the budget, which isn't very fancy and it doesn't get a lot of accolades, but, you know, we wouldn't be operating if it wasn't for them, and the city's clerk's office that keeps our papers and keeps us organized, and, you know, just all of our staff that works so incredibly hard, and they don't get, you know, to stand up all the time and get the accolades, but, you know, we know that they're out there and they're working and they're giving their all. So we appreciate everything that you guys, all of you, do.
Thank you. And I'm looking out in the audience and I'm seeing finance, and your job is just beginning to start as we start a lot of the things that take place through the building prospect. So your work is coming your way. We appreciate you. And then I'm looking at IT. Without all the work that IT does to give things back and forth quickly so we can move through the system, we really appreciate it. Traffic engineers back there that are coordinated with NDOT with me all the time in meetings and doing great things. And Randy for the waste treatment plant for putting that humongous effort into that happening. We appreciate you. And I think maybe you're probably not supposed to have favorites, but in this case, my favorite would be Gina. These people come in the door. She concierges them in. She has a great staff. They leave that meeting thinking, I want to do business with these people. And then when they meet us, it's like a cherry on the top, you know. So, Gina, we really appreciate all that your staff does to welcome people into our building and make it available for them to make the very best business decision they can for their future, and that's doing business in North Las Vegas. So I appreciate you. Well, the cops and fire guys know they're great. This is their turn, but thank you that we're very proud of our brothers and sisters in the police and the fire department. But at this point in time, we're all following their lead, and when everything gets built, that's when they come in and they life and safety. That's where they take over there.
Well, just one other person. I don't know if Craig's back in that little room back there, but I've never seen a guy who just loves what he does, because we are truly not actors or actresses. So when we're in front of that camera and he's back there manipulating all of his little tools and dealing with her great leadership for him and for us as well. So thank you to both of you as well. Oh yes, Amanda, absolutely.
Thank you. So, do you have?
And I know I was here really late one night, and it wasn't just Amanda. It was Amanda, and Elisa was with her, and I think Nancy was there, and so I think all of them up in our offices, they were here way later than they should normally have been here. So,
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Liu. Anything else to report?
No other.
Thank you. Any other do we have any real council stuff this evening, Ms. Wood?
well, I've got a couple quick things. One, I do want to give a shout out to PD. They had their award ceremony last night, and it was hard to keep a dry eye in that ceremony. They were honoring everyone who helped with Detective Chad Parquet. So it was everyone from the North Las Vegas Fire Department, I believe Las Vegas Fire, Medic West, UMC, and all of those that worked so hard to try to save his life. We had some Medal of Honor winners, and it was just a beautiful and wonderful ceremony, and I think you guys, I was proud to be there last night and very honored. I was also very honored and had a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue to have fun this week. It's Nevada Reading Week. I got to go to Guy and Bruner Elementary Schools and read to the kids yesterday and today, and I have Wolf and Cozine to go, so I'm having fun with the elementary school kids in my ward, and so thank you to all of those kids who have put up with me reading to them and tolerating the book that I chose to bring with me. And also thanks to Gina Gavin and her department, we did a retail luncheon on Thursday that was reaching out to brokers, trying to bring more restaurants into particularly wards 3 and 4, but Councilwoman Goins Brown was also there representing Ward 2, and yeah, we mentioned Ward 1 for you over there too, Councilman Brown. But they did an amazing job. We had great attendance. We were able to talk about North Las Vegas and our census tracts and our demographics and ask the question and really bring it to light. Why don't we have more sit-down restaurants in North Las Vegas? And we had a lot of people at the end who were sitting there going, you know, you're right, North Las Vegas. It's a reasonable question, and we've got to see what we can do to help you. So we may continue to have a few more of those, maybe once a quarter or so, and continue that reach out and see if it'll have some effect. And then lastly, I would like to ask if there was the possibility, we briefly discussed it at the last meeting, about doing a joint meeting with the Planning Commission, perhaps on March 29th, which is an upcoming fifth Wednesday, to discuss items like perimeter landscaping, and I'm sure if we put our heads together, we can come up with a couple other items so that we get on the same page with our Planning Commission. And I think, well, we haven't done one in forever. We used to do them pretty regularly, and it's probably well past time. So that would be my request.
Councilman Barone?
Yeah, thank you much. By the way, it's talking about food. You know, maybe I don't like to read off some other things, but there's a certain magazine that I'm going to write a letter to. They picked us like really almost like last when it came to great place for foodies, but I think it's because they don't realize what we do have. I mean, I don't know if everyone realizes that we have a fantastic walk of food over at Broadacre Swap Meet. That, you know, in our wisdom, I think we allowed to working with Mark, you know, and staff, you know, allowed to get built. And if you swing by there are literally there's food that you can't find anywhere else in the valley. Something called a machete, and I'm not talking about a machete. I'm talking a machete is a fantastic food item. I mean, you have to really try it. I don't own stock, by the way, in Broadacres. I just thought I'd mention that. We do have some hidden gems, but it'd be good to add some more. I'm gonna buy you one. As a matter of fact, there.
Because we're all trying to figure out what that is.
I'll treat everybody who shows up. You know, we'll find a day. We'll go out there, and you guys will. It's a gastronomic. It's a gastronomic surprise. I'll tell you, in a good way. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I want to echo your thoughts regarding the PD Awards. I'm so sorry that I had to leave early, but yeah, every accolade that we can bestow upon our the thin blue line. And I know at times that they're very, very thin. But again, they do so much with so little resources. I think we have by far the best cops in the valley. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but thank you, Gary. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but there's a couple of officers that, for me, I mean, they're just. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll give them their coffee cards, and they can celebrate at Starbucks. I would like to invite everybody who's listening. I know it's being simulcast. Just put a last plug in for the 4th annual Express Show, the art show we're having tomorrow in our Stone Soup Art Gallery, just outside of the council chambers. You've already seen most of the art that's been hung up. There's a little bit more coming in tomorrow, but there'll be food, there'll be music. Lots of art, lots of people. Please come on by, and we're actually having representatives from other schools who are coming in to take a look at it. And of course, it'd be very much my my honor to have one continual art show after another, just so the public, so the city can see the kind of talent that we have, available in the valley. And also regarding one other thing, I attended Congressman Ruben Keywan's open house last Friday. Councilwoman, you were there with me also. It was like standing room only. You literally, maybe I shouldn't say this, but a fire marshal, and no, I'm not going to go there, get in trouble. But it was very well attended, and I look forward to having his office, which seems to be dedicated to providing as much service, I think, to the public as possible. And in so doing, I think this Saturday, I understand they're having an immigration forum for all those who might have questions regarding what's happening, of course. And so I think they're going to be here from 10 to 12, as I understand. And of course, I invite anybody who has any questions to please come by. And I'm not going to be there, I don't think. But I'm happy to see that we have a partner who's extending our leadership, in the community. So thank you very much.
Councilman Churchill.
I wanted to add just two things. Amanda Dillard is working very hard, actually making me look good as usual, putting together the JAG program at Legacy High School once a month. We have amazing speakers coming in over there for the juniors. Officer Menendez was there, and he was a big hit. So it's thanks to her and Liberty Levitt for putting those programs together. The other thing I wanted to let you know that if you need anybody to come and speak to you about the Three Little Pigs, I'll be happy to do that. I've been reading at Somerset Academy the same book several times now, so I could almost do it blindfolded. I never knew the story of the Three Little Pigs the way it is, so the boys and girls over there love it. And the school is very, very appreciative, Mike, Mr. Hudgens. They even had me go outside and walk to the street to take a picture of the speed limit sign that you put up for the school children during school hours. They're very appreciative of that, and so am I. Thank you.
Councilwoman Owens-Brown.
If you are really talented and you like to paint or you like to do some planting, so you can join us tomorrow from 1 to 5 at the Brooks Tot Lot. We're going to be doing some renovations over there with equipment and painting of a mural and planting some new trees over there. So please come out and join us. And then also on Friday, in celebration of Nevada Reading Week, I'll be reading at Antonello and at Cox.
Great, thank you. And I'll just add one thing in recognition of Mr. Jordan. He was, through his leadership, his organization was nominated for one of the James C. Cashman Awards at the Taxpayers Dinner in Carson City. He flew up there out of 15 organizations who have done huge things to save the taxpayers' money and make big differences in how government is run. His organization came in third to some very heavy, stiff competition. And coming in that top three of that of all those 15 projects was incredible. And as far as I'm concerned, you won. You know what I mean? Anything that happens good in North Las Vegas. My only concern was you didn't ask for a recount. Next time, don't believe those judges. They make mistakes on TV sometimes, So anyway, we appreciate you. Now is the time for the second public forum. We have one blue card. Anybody else that'd like to speak to the council, please come forward. Mr. Bouchard. Start the clock.
My job. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, before we start the clock, I got a couple quick questions. You just billed that State of the City is being sold out. Does that mean the 100-plus city employees paid to get in? Is that a yes or a no question?
There was 100 plus employees.
Well, okay. Did they pay to get in?
No.
Okay. Were they on my clock? Was I paying their salaries when they were there?
They eat lunch like everybody else gets lunch. Period.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. But I want to pay the IT department compliment too. That's the best piece of sci-fi film I've ever seen. If any of that, I guess the Las Vegas I live is on a different plane because that's not the Las Vegas I live in, North Las Vegas I live in. Okay, start the clock now. Back in November, I spoke with you people about the fact that 2017 was going to be a bad year, and it is. Wendy's is putting kiosks in. They're going to lay off their cashiers. Burger King, McDonald's is going to do the same thing. More jobs disappearing. Kmart is closing stores. Sears may not even be in business by the end of this year. But yet you guys voted 5-0 to approve a 2-year agreement with the Teamsters, a 3-year agreement with the police and fire. And according to an RJ article a couple of days ago, we're not even at the end of the first quarter, and we're $15.5 million in the red. And we're probably going to be $25 million in the red by the end of the year. It's just amazing to me that these votes are coming in 5-0. It looks like one person would have said, you know what, this may not be a good idea based upon what the economy is looking like. I know everybody's going to say, well, but the stock market's never been better. You know why the stock market's doing well? Because Trump is cutting all regulations, so big business is going to get to do whatever they want to, including keep the minimum wage down, because Trump promised us that, and you guys haven't done anything about it either. But I'll tell you what you are doing. My understanding is Ryan Juden is up in Carson City right now lobbying to get rid of that 3% cap on property taxes and raise our property taxes. Hey, I'm living on Social Security. I haven't gotten a raise in 3 years, and neither has anybody else. My ex-wife hasn't gotten a raise in 5 years. We've got high school graduates here making, $125,000 a year. We've got a school teacher here with a 5-year degree only makes $42,000. My HMO doctor, who has a 10-year degree, only makes $125,000. These salaries are unsustainable, and the way you people run this city is a slap in the face to the people that pay your salaries.
Let me just
have a
mention
good night,
something.
and may God bless.
Your fake news means nothing because your
sorry,
facts
what?
are so wrong. Ryan Juden is not up there advocating for that.
What's he advocating? Is he advocating?
I'm done with you.
Well, I'm done with you
This meeting
too.
is over.
It's over. Have a good night. God bless.